Welcome, everyone, to the Phoenix Police Department's 2019 Annual Awards Ceremony. And now, welcome to the stage, your MCs for tonight's ceremony, Executive Assistant Chief Mike Kurtenbach, and special guest co-host from 12 News, Vanessa Ramirez.
All right, good evening. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here. So many of you have come together tonight to honor this year's award recipients. Congratulations to you and to your families. This is your night.
Thank you so much for joining us, Vanessa. It is great to have you here. Folks, before we begin, let's recognize our many honored guests. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased tonight to be joined by Council Members Nowakowski and Mendoza. If you would give them a round of applause, please. We'd also like to recognize the Phoenix Police Foundation and those sponsors whose generous contributions made this evening possible. To those members of the community in attendance, and to you, our family and friends who support us night after night and day after day, thank you, and please know we love you.
Okay, it looks like we're ready to go. We are pleased to welcome our first speaker for the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Phoenix Mayor Thelda Williams.
Well, welcome everybody to one of our favorite celebrations every year. As most of you know, or at least some of you know, my husband and son are retired Phoenix PD. So I thought I knew a lot about what all these officers face every day and how the wives and mothers felt. I've been mayor for the last 9 months, and every time there's been an incident, I will tell you, either Chief Williams or Mike calls me and tells me there's been an incident, they're on their way, and they'll call me when they get there. It's a different world today than it was when my husband and son were here. I want to thank all of you for supporting our officers today. Regardless of what you see or hear, I will tell you this community supports our police officers. Phoenix is a great city because of them. We are safe, we are friendly, we are compassionate, and it's because of the quality of the officers we have today. And I know a lot of that stems from you. So thank you for being here, and thank you for how you raised your kids, how you grew up with your siblings, and the support you give them. God bless our heroes. They're all heroes. We're going to celebrate some special ones this evening, but in my mind, everyone that goes to work every day is a hero. So thank you, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mayor Williams. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Phoenix City Manager Ed Zerker to the stage.
Thank you. I want to especially thank Mayor Williams, who, as she noted, is part of a police family and knows personally how it is, and thank her for her service the last 9 months as mayor and for the last 20 plus years as a city council member. Also, thank you to our council members who are here tonight. But mostly this is a night to thank you, the officers, the civilians who work in the police department, the families, the volunteers, and the Phoenix Police Foundation for having this event to recognize our heroes who come to work every day, as the mayor said. We're stronger and safer as a city because of the work you do every day and every night. You're under the microscope more and more. You perform with skill and compassion, with merit, with valor, and with honor, and it's important to recognize that tonight. Your jobs are difficult and getting more so. More demands every day, but you rise to the occasion every day, and that's important to recognize. Through the years, we've had these events that I've been several places, Comerica Theater, Grand Canyon University, but I especially like coming here to the Orpeum Theater because it's a place where just 2 weeks ago we recognized city employees who have fallen in the line of duty. and the greatest number of those are Phoenix police officers. And there's a memorial outside this building dedicated to all our Phoenix employees who have given the ultimate sacrifice. So being here is fitting as we honor those who've come before us, and now tonight as we celebrate those whose work we want to recognize. So on behalf of all city employees, as the city manager, thank you for being here, thank you for what you do, and enjoy this great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zerker. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is a familiar one. Please give a very warm welcome to Police Chief Jerry Williams.
So good evening to everyone here tonight, and welcome to our annual award ceremony. Tonight and every night, I am reminded about how amazing my employees are, not to mention the brave men and women in our community who step up and help out an officer or their fellow citizen. I am truly proud to be your police chief. Behind each award tonight is a story of heroism and kindness in action. Each honoree found in them the spirit of service, the commitment to justice, and a servant's heart. Here in Phoenix, we call that the blue. It's something special that connects those who serve with those whom we serve. It is what each employee of the Phoenix Police Department signed up to do. This is the inspiration behind our new slogan, join together with Phoenix and find the blue in you. But let me get back to why we're here tonight. We're here to honor those who took their call to duty above and beyond. As I've said before, if you ask any one of these real-life heroes how or why they earned their award, each would reply, I was just doing my job. Tonight is your night, honorees. Gather around your family and your friends and allow your organization, your community, your city leaders, and your police chief to recognize and honor you for your service. Please accept my gratitude and respect for what you do each and every day. Truly, we are proud of who you are, and we're proud of what you do. Thank you, and enjoy the evening.
Thank you, boss. A critical part of our team are the volunteers who donate their time and talents to all aspects of our department. COPS stands for Citizens Offering Police Support. So much of what we do as a police department is carried out by our volunteers. These outstanding citizens give of themselves and their time to ensure that we continue to serve and protect while giving back to our community. They serve on advisory boards, on neighborhood patrols, in precincts and bureaus. They assist with special events and programs. They are leaders and mentors, and they deserve our appreciation.
Tonight, we recognize 5 very special volunteers who donated so much of their time over the 2018 year. Johanna Lopez Lopez, Jordan Lundgren, Elsa Rivera, Ann Rodak, and Danielle Strojnik. Johanna Lopez Lopez volunteers at our Violent Crimes Bureau Homicide Unit. Her regular duties include listening to jail calls, translating interviews, watching hours upon hours of surveillance video, and reviewing phone extraction data, to name only a few. She is a mentor and a true asset to the Bureau. Jordan London Grin and Elsa Rivera volunteer as our Family Investigations Bureau Missing and Unidentified Persons Unit. Their positive attitude and strong work ethic make the Bureau a better one. Their compassion for others sets the examples for other agencies when it comes to serving the victims within our community. Both women volunteer while maintaining their paid jobs and pursue college degrees.
Miss Ann Rajak volunteers with our crime-free multi-housing program, which has increased participation by 15% with her help. Her proactive approach boosts membership and spreads safety throughout our participating apartment complexes and properties. Her ideas have helped to make the program successful. And last but certainly not least, Miss Danielle Strojnik. She volunteers with our Homeland Defense Bureau, updating the department's continuity of operations plan. She came to us from Phoenix Fire, where she assisted with their community emergency response team. Danielle's work on the co-op project is largely responsible for Phoenix being the first city to complete their project. All this while attending college and raising a family. We thank all of our volunteers from the bottom of our hearts.
Here to introduce our next award category, the Medal of Life Saving, please welcome to the stage Assistant Chief Louis Tovar.
Thank you. Good evening. The Medal of Life Saving is awarded to an employee or citizen for an act that results in saving or preserving a human life or lives that otherwise would have immediately expired. Each and every day in the life of a Phoenix police officer includes experiences and opportunities that impact citizens and the community as a whole. Every recipient on stage tonight was involved in saving a life, and in many cases, their actions involved endangering their own life in the process. It would take all evening to share each of these stories, but each one is incredible in their own right. Many of these times, officers intervened at risk of their own personal safety in order to save people in life-threatening situations, or in some cases, even from themselves. In each case, the actions of these officers either saved or significantly prolonged the life of a citizen who otherwise may have perished. Please join me now in recognizing all recipients of the Medal of Life Saving.
Keith Yingling, Nick Batassis, Police Assistant Joshua Gonzalez, Stephen Campbell, Alex Volk, Stephen Salazar, Scott Fay, Alan Bansky, Steve Butler, Deputy Fabian Nuno, John Ferragamo, Joshua Adams, Sergeant Sal Rincon, Marcos Renteria, Sergeant Timo Lewis, Sergeant Eric Molenkamp, Sergeant Robert Griffin, Tim Henningsen, Rory Kulowick, Charles Hilliard, Robert Carule, Gage Reiser, Fernando Garcia, Christian Ortiz Cota, Eric Dilliard, Noel Trevino, Steve Butler, Sergeant Jeremy King, Samantha Pimentel, Coley Bruns, Artur Pedlowski, Sergeant Jeffrey Toby, Lindsay Schultz, Michael Mason, Stephen Jewell, Christopher Smith, Ashur Misho, Miles Piper, Alan Holscher, Mauricio Figueroa.
Ladies and gentlemen, the recipients of the Medal of Life Saving. A digital version of the program is available online where a photo of our honorees and the story of their life-saving efforts can be found. Please see an awards representative for instructions on where to download the file.
Often, there are heroes who come from the very community we are sworn to serve and protect. Tonight, we honor their service to their fellow citizens. Let us take a minute to recognize these citizen heroes. Please welcome to the stage, receiving the Certificate of Life Saving, Kim Del Monte, Christopher Chu, Sean Tierney, Lori Goodsell, Charles Whitby, and Kathleen McMurray. Yes. Thank you for joining me in recognizing the recipients of the Certificate of Life Saving.
Hi, I'm Iris Hermosillo.
And I'm Kaylee O'Kelly. We're with ABC 15 Mornings, and we just want to right out of the gate say thank you so much for what you do for our community.
Absolutely, and congratulations to all of the award recipients tonight. You know, we work in this community, we live in this community, we're raising families here too, and we are just so grateful for all of your hard work and dedication.
I can't think of a better place to live than right here in Phoenix, Arizona, and so much of that has to do with you. You make us feel safe, and we have to thank your families as well, because we know you sacrifice so much. You worry, obviously, when your loved ones go out there to protect us. Thank you for that.
Hello everyone, I'm Roy Green of the Arizona Cardinals. I just want to say this evening, thank you so much for what you do for my community. We really appreciate the effort that you give, the way you make it so that we can be safe as we go to bed at night. I know I, as well as your family, really loves and appreciates you. So all the wives and girlfriends, kids, whomever your relationship is with the officer out there, reach over right now, give him a kiss, a hug, or a handshake, and tell him how much you appreciate him, because I sure do. The Arizona Cardinals and the Phoenix Police Department, my two favorite teams.
Presenting our next award category, the Medal of Merit. Please welcome to the stage Assistant Chief Sandra Renteria.
Thank you. The Medal of Merit is presented to an employee for an act of courage and dedication to duty during the performance of a police service that involves significant risk or danger to one's personal safety. As these awards are presented, you will hear stories of heroes who took heroic action to protect life and property. Our community is lucky that these honorees were in the right place at the right time and knew exactly what needed to be done. We are truly grateful and proud to honor each of them tonight with the Medal of Merit. At this time, please welcome our first group of honorees to the stage.
Sergeant Jeff Clement, Sergeant Jason Jonke, Sergeant Michael Penn, Sergeant Todd Schills, Mark Rao, Alistair Morrison, Robert Wallace, Ramel Colclaw, Mark Wirtz, Marcos Rosales, Ronald Dorfman, Sergeant Greg Lieberts, Matthew Eyrich, Kyle Frick, Andrew Carlson, William Underwood, Ira Wallace.
On October 31st, 2017, at around 3:45 in the morning, the members of the Tactical Support Bureau responded to a hotel near 26th Avenue in Peoria for a barricade suspect who had fled from the police. The suspect was in a hotel room with his wife where she was being held against her own will. When SAU arrived, they began negotiations with the man while setting up tactical positions and arranged for a crisis hostage rescue team. Negotiations continued for hours and the suspect eventually cut off communication. After a significant amount of time with no reaction from the suspect, a single gunshot was heard from within the room. Officers initiated a rescue through multiple points of entry. Inside, they found the suspect laying down on the ground with the hostage on top of him. Upon hearing the officers, the woman was able to free herself and crawl to the door where she was safely removed. The team of officers was able to detain an uncooperative suspect without any further incident. This barricade lasted for almost 15 hours and required an extensive amount of manpower, including several relief rotations of the tactical team. The professional and persistent actions of the individual members of this tactical team and the team as a whole are in keeping with the highest standards and traditions of the Phoenix Police Department. Each are hereby awarded the Medal of Merit.
Please welcome to the stage our next group of recipients. As you get to see, Sergeant Michael Penn gets to stay up here. Also, Sergeant Chris Abusafi, Lieutenant Jay Johnson, and Officer Ronald Dorfman. Lieutenant Johnson and Officer Dorfman were unable to be here tonight. On November 28, 2017, the Special Assignments Unit and the Fugitive Apprehension and Investigations Detail were requested to assist in the location and apprehension of a homicide suspect. Information surfaced that the suspect was a threat to himself. The suspect was trapped to a location along Interstate 10. It was discovered that he was heavily armed. As Phoenix police began to close in, a call came in of a truck driver who had been shot while driving on the I-10, just west of where the suspect was thought to be. Sergeants Michael Penn and Christopher Abusafi were first to arrive, along with Officer Ronald Dorfman. Shots were still being fired while they moved to assist DPS troopers who were quickly running out of ammunition. The now injured suspect moved to his damaged vehicle as Sergeant Abusafi and Lieutenant Jay Johnson evacuated the troopers to safety who had been pinned down by gunfire. The suspect was extracted from his vehicle and transported to the hospital with multiple gunshot wounds. He was later booked on multiple felony charges. These officers acted heroically and at great risk to their own personal safety by running to assist DPS troopers amid a hail of gunfire. Their actions are in keeping with the highest standards and traditions of the Phoenix Police Department. Lieutenant Jason Johnson, Sergeants Christopher Abusafi and Michael Penn, and Officer Ronald Dorfman are hereby awarded the Medal of Merit.
Please welcome our next honoree, Officer Brian Othman. On December 17, 2017, neighbors called 911 when they heard several gunshots and loud yelling coming from a condo in the area of 1300 East Highland Avenue. Officer Brian Othman was the first to arrive on scene and noticed a large amount of blood on the threshold of the front door. Officer Othman believed there could be someone severely injured inside and need of immediate help. He knocked loudly several times on the door. A man answered the door but was very evasive and acted suspiciously. Officer Othman was able to coax the man out of the house. The man gave an unlikely explanation for the blood, and Officer Othman took him into custody. Officer Othman entered the condo and discovered 2 victims of homicide. The suspect had apparently tossed away the handgun while speaking to the officer from behind the door. The suspect was later linked to several more homicides spanning 3 different cities. Officer Othman maintained poise and composure while taking swift and decisive action to stop a threat against himself and the community. His actions are in keeping with the highest standards and traditions of the Phoenix Police Department. Officer Brian Othman is hereby awarded the Medal of Merit.
Tonight, we have the very special opportunity to honor a member of our community who risked his own safety to help one of our officers. On December 12, 2017, a Phoenix police officer was working off duty at a Walmart in the Northwest Valley. He was attempting to arrest a shoplifting suspect at the main entrance when the suspect broke free and fled back into the store. The suspect physically resisted the officer by fighting and grabbing at the officer's gun belt. Mr. Kevin Buchanan was shopping when he observed the chase and the fight. The suspect was able to flip the officer onto his back, placing the officer at a substantial disadvantage. To assist the struggling officer, Mr. Buchanan willingly jumped in and forced the suspect to the ground. The suspect continued to resist and struggle with both men, but Mr. Buchanan did not waver. He held down the suspect's arms for approximately 5 minutes to prevent him from harming the officer. Mr. Buchanan's involvement helped the officer ultimately take the suspect into custody. During the investigation, it was discovered that the suspect had an outstanding felony warrant and he was facing substantial prison time. Mr. Buchanan came forward at great risk to his own safety and as a result, likely saved the officer's life. His actions are in keeping with the honorable traditions of community heroes just like him. Please welcome Mr. Kevin Buchanan to the stage as he is awarded the Certificate of Meritorious Conduct.
Please welcome our next group of recipients, Sergeant George Herr and Officer Dave DeAnda and Lamar Rushing. Officer Rushing could not be here tonight. On December 28, 2017, Sergeant George Herr, along with Officers Lamar Rushing and Dave DeAnda, responded to a call of a male acting erratically near First Avenue and Madison Street. Officers observed the man standing in the roadway with vehicles swerving to avoid him. The officers approached and heard the man making statements about self-harm and indicating that he was armed. The officers immediately recognized the man was in a mental health crisis. They calmly de-escalated his behavior and contained him into a small area on the Jackson Street Bridge overlooking First Avenue. Officers continued to talk to him as he inched towards the edge of the bridge. It appeared that the communication was breaking down, so Sergeant Herr discharged one less lethal impact round, striking the man in the abdomen. Officer DeAnda was able to quickly take the man into custody while he was still disoriented. The man was taken to a psychiatric care facility for a mental health evaluation. According to the professional staff, he would have ended his life if these officers had not intervened. The insightful and caring actions of these officers are in the keeping with the highest standards and traditions of the Phoenix Police Department. Sergeant George Herr and Officers Lamar Rushing and Dave DeAnda are hereby awarded the Medals of Merit and Life Saving.
Now please welcome to the stage Mr. Andre Wesson, Officer Andre Wesson, I'm sorry. On April 1st, 2018, Phoenix police officers responded to a home near 3000 East Monte Vista Drive to serve an order of protection. When officers arrived, the subject of the order ran from the house through an alley. Radio ran a check on the man's name and discovered an outstanding warrant for drug sales. Officer Andre Wesson was set up on the perimeter of the search area when he witnessed the subject jumping a wall into an apartment complex. He followed the suspect and was able to catch him before he left the complex. A fight began and Officer Wesson drew his taser. The suspect quickly turned around and produced a handgun and pointed it at the officer. The suspect pulled the trigger, but thankfully the gun malfunctioned and did not fire. At the same time, Officer Wesson transitioned from his taser to his service weapon and fired several shots. The threat ended when the suspect was struck and fell to the ground, dropping his weapon. He was taken into custody and transported to the hospital, where he later succumbed to his injuries. The brave, decisive actions of Officer Wesson are in keeping with the highest standards and traditions of the Phoenix Police Department. Therefore, Officer Wesson is hereby awarded the Medal of Merit.
Please welcome Officers Chris Packard and Josh Adams. On June 18, 2018, Officers Chris Packard and Josh Adams responded to an incorrigible juvenile call where a 15-year-old female with a history of violence and suicide attempts had locked herself inside a bathroom with scissors after arguing with caregivers. Officers Packard and Adams attempted to communicate through the door with her, but had no response. Officer Adams looked beneath the door and realized that the female had lit the floor on fire. Officer Adams forced open the door, and Officer Packard confronted the female as she was spraying aerosol towards the officers while trying to ignite a lighter. Immediately and without regard for his own personal safety, Officer Packard stepped into the flames and swatted the items out of her hands. The officers managed to remove her from the bathroom and out of harm's way as she continued to physically resist. Officer Adams used his taser to subdue the combative girl, while Officer Packard took her into custody. With the help of a resident, they extinguished the fire. Throughout this incident, the officers demonstrated significant courage by literally stepping into the fire to rescue a determined suicidal subject, and in turn, protecting the other residents in the building. Their brave and selfless actions are in keeping with the highest standards and traditions of the Phoenix Police Department. Officers Josh Adams and Chris Packard are hereby awarded the Medal of Merit.
And now please welcome to the stage Lieutenants Mark Schweikert and Ben Moore, along with Sergeant Steve McClellan and Reserve Sergeant Bob Cashel. On May 25th, 2017, Lieutenants Mark Schweikert and Ben Moore, along with Sergeants Steve McClellan and Bob Cashel, were working off-duty at the Phoenix Comic-Con event in downtown Phoenix. As many of you may know, the event brings tens of thousands of attendees to the downtown area. Many guests attend in character, wearing costumes ranging from simple to extremely elaborate, complete in some cases with realistic and replica weapons. A radio call came in of a subject intending to do harm to the crowd, and Lieutenant Schweikert immediately recognized the suspect by his description and the costume he was wearing. He advised the other officers of the subject's last known location. Lieutenant Moore and Sergeant Cashel located the suspect first and saw that he had several weapons on him. The group formulated a plan, and they took him by surprise. He resisted arrest and reached for one of his handguns while being restrained. After a brief struggle, the officer successfully took the suspect into custody. During a search, numerous very real and very deadly weapons were in the suspect's possession, along with dozens of rounds of ammunition. The investigation revealed that he had been planning a mass casualty event for several months. The heroic and immediate actions of these officers is in keeping with the highest standards and traditions of the Phoenix Police Department. Lieutenants Mark Schweikert and Ben Moore and Sergeant Steve McClellan and Bob Cashel are hereby awarded the Medal of Merit.
I am Mike Broomhead from News Talk 550 KFYI and AZTV7. Just wanted to take a moment to thank all of you for the work you do for the city of Phoenix. I'm from a law enforcement family, so I understand the dedication it takes to be a police officer and the commitment to your job and your community. There's no way I'm able to do the job I do without you being willing to do what you do. I will always defend you on the air, but I will never forget that it's your hard work every single day that makes it safe for me to do my job, and I will echo that all over the place whenever I can. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for the work you do, but especially for the way you do it. You are the most professional agency in the entire country. I'm proud to say that I live in Phoenix, and you're a big part of that reason, so thank you so much.
From all of us here at CBS 5 and Wake Up Arizona, we want to thank each and every one of you with the Phoenix Police Department. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, thank you. We call you, we text you, we tweet you, we bug you incessantly. You're always so patient with us, and you keep us safe out there, which we appreciate more than you know.
Yes, thank you. And we're going to keep calling you and texting you, so you better pick up. Thank you, seriously, thank you for everything that you do, keeping our community safe. We love you, and congratulations to all the folks getting awards in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our honored guest. He is the chairman of the Public Safety and Veterans Subcommittee and District 7 Phoenix Councilman Michael Nowakowski and Councilwoman Mendoza.
It's truly an honor and a privilege for Councilmember Mendoza, our Mayor Thelda Williams, our Vice Mayor Jim Waring, and myself to serve on the Public Safety Veterans Subcommittee. Today we are here to say thank you. Thank you to the 140 heroes that risked their lives to protect our families, our city, our neighborhoods. As a husband and as a father of 6, I want to thank the family members that are supportive of their loved ones, of those men and women and volunteers that go out and protect our neighborhoods so that our families can enjoy this walking in their neighborhoods, playing in the parks, and just enjoying the city of Phoenix. Thank you for your support of your loved ones. Thank you for your prayers, because it's because of you all that they're able to do their job. I also would like to recognize the 38 angels, the fallen police officers that we've lost over the years. 5 years ago, we created a celebration of life. It's a way to celebrate these heroes' lives, and I'd like to invite you all. It's called the Star Spangled Celebration. It's at Cesar Chavez Park, right off of 35th Avenue and Baseline, May 18th. It's a Saturday, and it's a great celebration, so we invite you all to come and listen to the stories of these great men and women that have given the ultimate sacrifice for us all. And once again, it is an honor and a privilege to be here in support of our men and women and all the volunteers that make our neighborhoods safe. God bless you all. Thank you.
Here to present our next award category, the Medal of Valor, please welcome to the stage Assistant Chief John Collins.
The Medal of Valor is awarded to an employee for an act of valor during the performance of a police service that involves the risk of life and the knowledge of that risk. The act clearly delineates valor from other forms of courage and is above and beyond the call of duty. Each of the honorees this evening are deserving of this award. Every officer in law enforcement will encounter a variety of situations in their career, each one more unique than the last, but our next group of honorees can truly say they encounter the call of a lifetime. Despite life-threatening conditions and being met by gunfire from an armed homicide suspect inside a house fully engulfed in flames, these officers rose to the challenge and used unconventional methods in an attempt to rescue a family of victims. Please welcome our next group of honorees to the stage.
Please welcome to the stage Officer Kendall Gu. On March 15, 2017, at around 4:30 a.m., a homicide was committed in Phoenix. Throughout the morning, Phoenix police officers worked diligently to identify and locate the suspect. At around noon, Special Assignments Unit officers responded to the area of 64th Avenue and Bell Road, where the armed suspect was confronted. The suspect fled on foot into an apartment complex and over a large wall, evading pursuing detectives. After the suspect landed on the other side of the wall, he fired a single gunshot. Just before 1 p.m., a 911 call came in of an armed robbery of a distinct yellow Corvette. This incident was linked to the outstanding suspect. The danger to the surrounding community was clearly increasing, along with the suspect's violence potential. Media helicopters were overhead and were live broadcasting the majority of the suspect's reckless and dangerous flight. Using a vehicle interdiction technique, Officer William Clark, who has since retired, took a measured opportunity to strike the Corvette, rendering the vehicle inoperable. Officer Clark and Officer Kendall Gu exited their vehicles, and they could see the suspect pointing a gun at police. Officer Gu used his police rifle to fire multiple rounds at the driver's door to divert his attention. Officer Clark fired a single round, striking the suspect and ending the threat. Throughout the encounter, both officers placed themselves at risk to their personal safety in order to stop the violent suspect's dangerous behavior and to protect the public. Their actions are in keeping with the highest standards and traditions of the Phoenix Police Department. Officers William Clark and Kendall Gu are each hereby awarded the Medal of Valor.
Please welcome Officers Joseph Newbern and Ryan Nielsen. On July 26, 2017, Officers Joseph Newbern and Ryan Nielsen were searching for a subject with a felony warrant for weapons violations and aggravated assault on a police officer. The officers were conducting surveillance near 35th Avenue and Deer Valley Road when they saw a man matching the suspect's description enter a convenience store. The suspect exited the store just as the officers entered the parking lot. Upon seeing the officers, he attempted to flee on a bicycle through a nearby dirt lot. As officers followed the suspect, he produced a handgun, turned towards the officers, and fired at them. The suspect then crashed the bicycle into a ditch and ran. Officers Newbern and Nielsen exited their patrol car and ran after the suspect. While running, the suspect fired more shots at the officers. Officers Newbern and Nielsen continued to pursue the subject, returning the fire from their service weapons. They managed to strike the suspect and put an end to the dangerous, violent encounter. These officers' brave actions during this incident are in the keepings with the highest standards and traditions of the Phoenix Police Department. Officers Joseph Newbern and Ryan Nielsen are hereby honored the Medal of Valor.
Hi, it's April Warnicki and the gals from Good Morning Arizona. I wanted to say congratulations to all the award winners and thank you to all of you for everything that you do.
And I'm Tess Raffles. We always appreciate your service to the community, making sure we are all safe. Congratulations, well-deserved honors for all of you.
Hardest job in this community and goes underappreciated. So huge thank you. I'm Olivia. You guys and women are part of Arizona's family, no doubt about it, and also part of my family too. You guys know I fell in love with my husband when he was in a police uniform. And also shout out to my brother-in-law, Lieutenant in Phoenix Police Department, Chris Boyle. So congratulations to the honorees and thank you so much for all you do.
Now, folks, please welcome to the stage a man who represents an organization without whom tonight would not be possible, the president of the Phoenix Police Foundation, Mr. Tim Thomas.
Good evening. So I just asked backstage if I was going to receive an award, and I was told yes, the bill. That really just happened. In all honesty, first, let me congratulate all of the award recipients this evening. You do a fantastic job serving and protecting our community, and on behalf of the Phoenix Police Foundation and our board of directors, I'd like to personally thank each and every one of you for what you do. Tonight would not be possible without the support from some very special sponsors. I'd like to thank Grand Canyon University and Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona for their Valor sponsors, and our friends at Motorola Solutions and Galloway Financial for their merit level sponsors. Please give them a loud round of applause. Thank you. So before I go on, I'd like to take a moment to share a few examples other than tonight of what the foundation donors and our partners have recently done to support the department and its employees. In the last 12 months, with private funding, the foundation has been able to support community outreach initiatives, youth programs, new equipment, and providing financial assistance in crisis situations. And let me give you just a couple examples. The foundation took on an idea that was brought to us from a sergeant out of the 400 precinct, and we were able to make it a reality. And what I'm referring to, we call it Ice Cream One. You may have seen it, but this 100% donated PD branded ice cream truck has been an enormous success when it comes to community outreach. With a grant from Motorola, we helped purchase new uniforms for the cadet program. We also helped fund other youth programs like the Phoenix Police Youth Experience, Hoops for Hope, and the Police Activities League. We purchased new equipment for our Tactical Support Bureau, and our first batch of tourniquet holders for patrol recently arrived. In 2018, we provided financial assistance to 13 employees in crisis situations, both sworn and professional staff. And lastly, when Canine Bain was killed on April 17, 2018, the community came together and the foundation was able to quickly fill that void with a new dog. Private funding is also allowing the foundation to send Officer Howard, Bain's handler, to Washington, D.C. for Police Week this year, where Bain will be recognized at the Canine Memorial. So thank you again for what you do, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we present our next award category, the Police Chiefs Unit Award. This award is presented for the successful completion of predetermined police-related on-duty act or continuing effort by a group of employees working for a common objective. Please welcome to the stage this year's honorees who are receiving the Police Chiefs Unit of the Year Award.
Lieutenant Jason Johnson, Lieutenant Brian Issett, Sergeant James Ward, Sergeant David Hill, Sergeant Matthew O'Malley, Timothy Wheeler, David Archdeacon, Joanna Collier, Kenneth Mitchell Jr., Robert Pinkerton, Jeremy Rogney, Craig Webb, Daniel Rogers, Daniel Romero, Christopher Stone, Ryan Bewley, James Bird III, Ryan Clark, Jason Hall, Norman Hewer, David Minna, Mark Veras, Elliot Williams, Phoenix Fire Division Chief Scott Peterson, Deputy Chief Chris Stewart, Deputy Chief Chris Healy, Division Chief Jerry Sharp, Division Chief Tony Benitez, Fire Captain Austin Moreland, Captain Joel Stevenson, Captain Tommy Williams, Captain William Scott Crowley, Captain David Stern, Fire Communications Supervisor Danny Wilson, Police Communications Supervisor Court Hood, Nicole Diedrich, Jason Martin, Amy Kubisak, Beth Catuso, Stacy Duell, Stephanie Bundy.
On February 14th, 2018, a tragic active shooter incident occurred at a high school in Parkland, Florida. The incident rocked the country and placed law enforcement in the national spotlight. The response by public safety to that particular incident was heavily scrutinized and prompted the Phoenix Police Department Training Bureau's Tactical Training Detail to partner with the Homeland Defense Bureau and the Phoenix Fire Department to create a joint training exercise for active shooter intervention. The training fit two missions: police's mission to stop a subject from injuring or killing more civilians, and fire's mission to bring medical aid immediately to those in need, all while operating under a unified command structure. Since the program began in the spring of 2018, over 1,200 police officers and 1,000 firefighters have completed the training. This training is like no other in the country and quickly became known as the Phoenix Way. Nationally, it is the gold standard for others to follow. Some of the locations where training has taken place include Valley Elementary and High Schools, the Phoenix Zoo, Sky Harbor International Airport, and the Phoenix Children's Hospital. The Active Shooter Intervention Training Group has made a significant impact in the way both public safety departments prepare and respond to contemporary trends in violence. Their accomplishments are in keeping with the highest standards and traditions of the Phoenix Police and Fire Departments. Together, they are hereby awarded the Police Chief's Unit of the Year Award.
everybody, Troy Hayden, Celeste Rodriguez, Fox 10 AZAM. What a great night.
Absolutely.
I know on any given day, all of you, the men and women of Phoenix PD, could get an award for what you do every day you come to work.
Yeah.
But I know some of you are being awarded for very special things you've done, and it's awesome.
Yeah, you are heroes on our city streets. We so appreciate you, and of course, all the sacrifice that you've give each and every day, and the sacrifices of your family as well. So thank you.
Congratulations, all the award recipients tonight. And this is the biggest boom microphone I've ever seen. Congratulations to everybody.
Thank you.
Hola, ¿qué tal a todos los oficiales, a todas sus familias? Les saluda Heidi Rempening desde los estudios de Univisión, Arizona. Es un placer para mí poder estar con ustedes este día tan importante y más que nada para agradecerles por todo su servicio, por todos los sacrificios que hacen por nuestra seguridad, por nuestras familias, por nuestra comunidad en general. También quiero aprovechar la oportunidad para agradecerles a sus familias, porque ellas son las que los apoyan y les permiten salir cada día de sus hogares para estar bien preparados y poder pelear por nosotros. Gracias por todo el esfuerzo que hacen y estamos aquí para poder compartir esta responsabilidad y mantener a esta comunidad protegida, mantener a esta comunidad informada. Que Dios los bendiga y estamos aquí para apoyarlos.
Please welcome the recipient of our next award of the evening. Receiving the award for Supervisor of the Year, please welcome Sergeant James Ward. The Phoenix Police Department Tactical Training Detail is tasked with developing and delivering training to all sworn employees, recruits, post-academy, and the Reserve Division. During his time as their supervisor, Sergeant James Ward has constantly excelled to bring innovation and creativity, a strong work ethic and leadership to the detail itself and to the training provided to the department. Sergeant Ward was instrumental in creating the active shooter intervention training for which he received the Police Chief's Unit Award this evening. Sergeant Ward and his detail have created several new exciting training courses. He was also instrumental in the 2018 Sergeant's testing process while simultaneously overseeing department-wide mandatory and service training. Sergeant Ward is an innovative, creative, and progressive leader who works to produce the best training product for the department, while ensuring his employees have exactly what they need to succeed. Sergeant James Ward is hereby named Supervisor of the Year.
And now please direct your attention to the screen for a special message from Grand Canyon University President Brian Mueller.
Well, good evening and welcome. I wish I could be there and I'm out of town, but I want to start by saying congratulations to everybody that's here, all the police officers in Phoenix, all of their families for what you do for the community on an everyday basis. I want to especially congratulate those people that have won awards tonight. We appreciate the efforts of everybody, but for those of you that have gone above and beyond and won these awards, congratulations. You should feel good. This is a night to honor you and what you've done, and we hope that your families are having a great time doing that. Also want to say that I've now personally been here in this neighborhood for 10 years, and Grand Canyon University has grown tremendously. We have now almost 21,000 students on our campus, and we've grown from 100 acres to 300 acres. But we've watched the community grow along with us, which is unbelievably exciting. What's happening here could not happen without the City of Phoenix Police. It just couldn't. We see things now in this neighborhood that all of us are observing that's having a tremendous impact on people every single day. The kids that are leaving high school at 3 o'clock don't have to fight some of the things that they fought even 5 or 6 years ago. We see women with carriages and they're walking their little children. We see girls jogging in the neighborhood. The neighborhood's coming alive, and it's because people feel safe. It's a place where they want to be. They want to become part of the community and enjoy each other. That can't happen without our relationship with the City of Phoenix Police and the great work that you're doing every day. I want you to know that as a Grand Canyon University community, 21,000 students on this campus now, almost 5,000 full-time employees. We love being part of this community. We think the future is incredibly bright. We love what's happening in the community, and it could not happen without you. So thank you for everything that you're doing, and I hope this is an absolutely fantastic evening for you and your families.
So this is a little bit of the unscripted part of the ceremony. Could I ask Assistant Chief Jim Burgett and Assistant Chief Louis Tovar to join me on stage and stand front and center, please? So the combined total experience of these two gentlemen, this is their last award ceremony before they retire in April and June, respectively. Assistant Chief Louis Tovar has spanned 40 years of experience. Assistant Chief Jim Burgett, somewhere between 35 and 40. These two folks help us lead the agency and the organization, and I'm so proud of all the work that you've given, the blood, the sacrifice, and time away from your family to be amazing human beings and to join us in service to our community. So could you give them a round of applause, please? Thank you.
Our final award is the Medal of Honor. It is awarded to those officers who made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty in service to their community. We were extremely blessed that for the last nearly 3 years, there have been no deaths in the line of duty of any Phoenix police officer. However, we are saddened to acknowledge that not every police agency was so fortunate. Over the years, our department has suffered 38 line of duty deaths. Throughout Phoenix, the physical locations where each of their sacrifices was made are memorialized by historical markers. Each marker represents a hero's life, their sacrifice, and that marker stands as a reminder to their family, friends, and their community that we will never forget. Please direct your attention to the screens for a tribute to those worthy of our most venerable award, the Medal of Honor.
We are at the memorial marker of Officer Hayes Birch in the area of 6th Street and Jefferson Street.
We are at the memorial marker of Officer Walter Stewart at 20th Street and Washington Street.
Albert Bloom, serial number 947. Officer Dale Stone, serial number 1697.
Phoenix Police Officer Clay Haywood.
For Officer Michael Hemsmeyer.
For Officer Gilbert Chavez.
Officer Arthur Delgadio.
Officer Ignacio Conchos, badge 2853, and Officer John Davis, badge 1841.
Officer Kenneth Campbell, 3973.
Officer Earl Rusty Hawkins.
Motor Officer Robert L. Palmentier.
For Officer Kevin Forsyth, badge number 3289.
For John Robertson, badge number 3127.
For Officer Robert Fike.
Officer Kenneth Collins.
For Officer Pat Briggs.
Sergeant Danny Tunney, badge number 1437. Sergeant John Domblinski, badge number 2647.
For Officer Leonard Kalaji, badge number 2387.
Sergeant Marty Kiefer.
For Officer Jolie Buff. Officer Beryl Wayne Scott.
Officer Don Schultz.
Officer Jason Wolf, 7215, and Officer Eric White, 7275.
Officer David Uribe.
For Officer Paul Salmon, badge number 8256.
Officer George Cortez, serial number 8232.
For Officer Nick Erfley, badge number 6994.
For Officer Shane Figueroa, badge 8485.
For Officer Travis Murphy, 8474.
Officer Daryl Rates, serial number 8899.
Detective John Hobbs, badge number 5624.
For Officer Mark Atkinson, number 5930.
Officer David Glasser, serial number 8144.
We honor and remember.
We honor and remember.
We honor and remember their sacrifice.
As a reminder, the Phoenix Police Museum invites you to join them after this evening's ceremony. The museum is located across Washington Street at Old City Hall. Our cadets will be in position to guide you. Please take a moment while you are there and visit the memorial room where you can pay tribute to our fallen heroes and learn the stories of their sacrifice. I want to thank you for having me here this evening. It's been such an honor. And I want to thank the Phoenix Police Department for protecting and serving our community. This has been an honor, truly, and thank you for being a great co-host.
You're too kind, Vanessa. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes tonight's ceremony. We would like to thank the Phoenix Police Foundation and all of our sponsors. Thank you to our city leaders and all of our speakers. To the Public Affairs Bureau, all the police employees who worked diligently to put this ceremony together, and a special thank you to Police Assistant Jason Wainwright for lending his voice talents this evening. And last but certainly not least, thank you, Vanessa, for really honoring us this evening.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. And special thanks to tonight's heroes. We are truly honored and proud of who you are and proud of what you do. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. Have a great night.